Today's topic is going to be, do the Raptors still have a place in Toronto? So this year the Leafs are looking quite good. They are currently 5th place in the East with the win last night against the Devils. The Leafs look like a playoff team and there's a lot of excitement in the city. Now with it being March, spring training has just started, and with the huge off-season that the Toronto Blue Jays had, there's a lot of excitement in Toronto for them, and it looks like Blue Jays are going to have one of the best seasons in terms of not only results but also overall attendance by fans. So in another month or so it'll be the Leafs, the Blue Jays, and the Raptors all playing at the same time. Now the Raptors rank 28th out of 30 in overall attendance. That could be partially because their team has been quite brutal this year, or just basketball is not the top sport to watch in Toronto. This is probably the first time since the 90s, 92, 93, 94, where the Leafs and the Blue Jays are relevant teams, top contending teams. So with the Leafs finally in contention, there's an overall sense of hope in the city. We obviously know the Leafs will keep their attendance the same. It's one of the best in the league. The Leafs will always be probably the top team in Toronto, whether they make the playoffs or not. But with their long history, they've won before. They've won 13 cups. They've made the playoffs multiple times. The Raptors, on the other hand, have only made the playoffs 5 times in their history, the most recent one being in 2008. So with their lack of playoff appearances, lack of playoff success, they haven't made it ever to the finals or even close. They also have a tendency to have a problem drafting. They always seem to not draft the right player. They always lose out on free agency, whether it's not spending the money or whether it's trying to spend the money but losing out to a better team or a more prestigious team. And then there's the problem of keeping their top players. Chris Bosh, of course, left to the Miami Heat as he wanted to win championships, and Toronto is probably not the best place to play if you want to win championships in the NBA. So with that said, there's not a lot of hope overall in this city for basketball. Fans kind of know that if you don't spend or if you don't draft, you're not going to succeed in that league. You're not going to compete with the Lakers, the Heat, even the Celtics, although they're getting older. But what they need is probably a different GM, different mindset of running the team in order to boost fan attendance and just change the way the city looks at this team. Have some sort of reason for them to hope, because right now there's no reason for anybody to have any hope for the Raptors. They are cellar dwellers. And with that said, they don't even have a draft pick this year. So there's really no optimism. When the Leafs were bad, of course there's criticism, but there's still so many diehard fans that there's still that hope, because so many people in this city have experienced long playoff runs in their past. The Raptors have never really had a long playoff run, and certainly not a championship, so there's just no reason for anyone to be excited. So my final point is that in a month, when the Leafs and the Blue Jays are the top teams, the most relevant and exciting teams to watch, we'll see if the Raptors, who A, aren't making the playoffs this year, B, don't have a draft pick this year, we'll see if they either go for a top free agent or if they just try to remain the same and keep their same identity. When the Blue Jays and the Leafs are the teams to watch and the Raptors aren't, we'll see if the Raptors' attendance drops even more. Unless the Raptors really do something in the offseason to improve this team and make them relevant and make the city optimistic and have hope for them, this team's going to fade into being irrelevant. So this has been Greeny Snipes.